Well, hey there, everyone. I am actually just now noticing that there is an upstairs. What the heck? There's an upstairs to this place? I spent 3 years in Garreg Mach running around, and I never knew. I didn't think I'd be back, but we are here for a very special reason. You may have seen my community post, but if you haven't, you might guess by the title, but I am in the Golden Deer route once again. My man Claude.
Hey there, my friend. It's funny how the monastery was once in ruins, but now it's downright bustling.
Yeah?
Thanks to a little promise 5 years ago, our buddies have all gathered, and even the knights have returned. It's like we were all just waiting for you to awaken. And now, we're all going to band together against the Imperial Army. You should go and talk to everyone if you can. There may be some who are still on the fence.
And what Claude says is 110% true. Check out the roster. Support: Lawrence, Raph, Ignatz, Lysithia, Marianne, Hilda, and Leonie as usual. But Ferdinand, Linhart, Caspar, Bernadetta, Dorothea, Petra. And then the list goes on. Felix, Sylvain, Mercedes, Annette, Ingrid, and I think we get Ash later, because I got him too. And of course, even I Hanneman, Manuela, Aloise, Catherine, Shamir, Cyril, and the Ashen Wolves. Everyone. Every single person that I could recruit, I've done it. It took me a while, right? I restarted the game after I completed the Crimson Flower route, and I replayed through, which also, if you look at my team's levels, I'm 33, right? Just take a look. You know, it's not just my main team. I've been spreading the love as well. And I had some actual clips from things that happen. Oh, you might be wondering why Happy is so powerful. Take a look at her class. That's not what this video is about, though. I know I'm kind of getting a long start, but first off, let's go visit the Ashen Wolves. Because I don't know, I figure, you know, the same thing would be the same for the Ashen Wolves for, you know, pre-time skip. But post-time skip, they might have some different stuff to say. In fact, aren't you from the Alliance?
Hey you, listen up. It's you. That's right. Looks like the Knights of Saros have returned.
Alright, nothing new for him. Constantine?
Oh, you have the look of someone relieved to see me.
Okay, so it looks like they're the same, at least for this first map. The second map on will probably have some different things. So that is also, wow. It is weird to see so much yellow down here. This is what I missed. I feel indescribable, you know? I've been waiting for this moment for a while. And now it's finally here. So, this first episode, we're gonna take a look at Balthus' supports, right? If you're wondering, I've already, Claude doesn't have an A rank with me or any of the other team members, but he does have an A rank with Petra and an A rank with Balthus. I didn't look at any of them, but I couldn't, you know, continue to advance their supports if basically, you know, I just skipped them, and they will be in the log. So we'll have to go there. We won't be able to see them here, but I have them. And we can finally see them. So let's save. Oh yeah, I only made one save file, by the way. And yes, I'm on normal. All right. I was tempted to go maddening, but it just didn't make sense on so many levels. It would have taken me entirely too long. So I went on normal, but I did play the game normally. I didn't use turn wheels, all right? It's the Golden Deer route. We don't use turn wheels. That's, yeah, another thing. I could have easily just made the Petra strat. What level is Petra? Yeah, she's 32. You know, Felix is 30. I got as many relics as I could get as well. I forgot I can't get a nets no matter what I do. That's annoying. That's mad annoying. But yeah, I got the Aegis Shield, you know, Lance of Ruin. I got Lewin as well. Just, I like a next at so much. That's both. This is the route where we can fight the 10 elites, and there are 2 relics from the Blue Lions I can't get. Dimitri's either. Either way, let's go ahead and leave and go to extras. Support conversations. Which also, since this is another route, I could get another S rank if I wanted to. I didn't get, it occurred to me too late to get somebody different for this. It defaulted to like Scythia. So yeah. That would have been cool to see like Marianne or even Leonie. Either way. Here we go. He's now officially done, but I haven't actually seen them yet. Let's start with Balthus, part 1.
Hey there, Claude. Where are you headed? If you need some extra muscle, count me in.
All right. We're no longer delaying. Welcome everybody back. If you just catching up with us, let's see Balthus's supports.
No thanks. Not much need for heightened security at the monastery. Well, most of the time, anyway.
Ish, I can take a hint. I'm just trying to help you out.
Oh, why are you trying to help him out, Balthus?
The way I see it, can't do better than cozying up to the Claude von Regan, future leader of the Alliance.
You know, I thought he was trying to be subtle about it, but okay.
You can get as cozy as you like, but I don't think that'll lower the price on your head.
That's actually a very good point. You know, like, Balthus like, I'm the best bud of, the leader of the Alliance. I would think that would do something, but
Couldn't hurt. People trust you. They trust the folks you run with. I could use a little trust in my life.
So you're hoping this newfound trust will trick more people into lending you money? Yeah, count me out. You know, fighting debt with debt won't work, right?
oh yeah, that does make sense if that was Balthus' plan. I was hoping it was something else.
Just as well. If you mess up leading the Alliance, their plans are bust anyway.
What?
So count me out, pal.
Okay.
By the way, Claude, are you really the heir of House Regan?
If Balthus has mentioned his mother by name in the support, I'll be mad salty.
Yes? That's my current understanding, anyway. Why do you ask?
I mean, he's got the crest.
I've never heard any talk of the last Duke Regan leaving a son behind when he died in that accident. Duke Oswald the Old. Your father? Tall tale if you ask me.
You think it's Duke Oswald? Is that not common knowledge that it's not him?
And if that's not the case, then who exactly did you get your Regan blood from?
From his mom.
Look at you figuring things out all by yourself. Sorry to say the true story isn't all that interesting. I was born to an offshoot of House Regan.
Offshoot?
My crest manifested. I was accepted into the ruling bloodline. That's all there is to it.
Offshoot? I think it's a little more official than that.
Nice try, but I'm not buying it. House Regan produces dukes and leads the whole of the Alliance.
Yeah?
Not having an heir is a matter of life and death. Any relative with a crest would be accepted immediately. But no one even knew you existed until fairly recently. It's fishy, Claude. Remarkably fishy.
Dadgummit, Balthus is doing the same thing the other Ashen Wolves did. This would have been so spicy. A nice little spice of the Golden Deer route.
I think I've finally figured you out. You're working for Lawrence, aren't you?
Wait! No! I think we got the hint. Well, I got the hint from playing Three Hopes, which is the wrong order. He's working with Count Gloucester.
Here's what I really can't work out. Duke Oswald's only daughter, Tiana?
Alright,
Whatever happened to her?
I'm officially salty. The name was dropped in this one support that I didn't see. I'm salty.
I met her a few times when I was a kid. She was a great lady. Real looker, too, let me tell ya.
I'm not gonna lie, I was very curious to see what she looked like, but I assumed she looks similar to Judith. You know, in that same kind of way I assumed Holst looked similar to Balthus. And actually, to be honest, he doesn't. I think Holst looks quite different than Balthus does, but...
I see your mind was just as pure when you were a kid as it is now. How'd you even cross paths with her?
Wait. Just as pure as a kid? Then why would he say that? Unless he knew him back then. Oh, Balthus says, I met her a few times when I was a... Okay, alright, gotcha.
As the legitimate heir of a minor noble house, I got a pretty decent glimpse into high society. Lady Tiana was something special. The stuff of dreams, really.
I'm so mad. Balthus is the only one who mentioned... Well, Petra might. But, yeah, this is the only time Claude's mom is mentioned by name.
And one day, she just vanished. Poof. Gone. I'll never forget hearing about it.
Wow. So you've had a particular interest in older women since way back when?
Wow.
Sorry, go on.
I mean, that is his mom, but still.
When my old man told me, I cried buckets. Even Holst lost it.
Really? That does make sense. That does make sense.
Holst? As in Holst the Indomitable Alliance General? Huh. I never knew that.
Indomitable, huh? It's funny, because I actually do know him now. I can see that. I can see that very clearly.
Yeah. And after a while, I heard a strange rumor. Some say Lady Tiana left to live in a far-off land. Once I remembered that, the rest fell into place.
So, did they know where she went to live?
Right. Say, have you considered minding your own business? Isn't that enough of a handful as it is?
That's fair. Considering Balthus has literally been on to Claude since the moment they've met.
If you want to have a real discussion sometime, bring me facts. Not a bunch of tired gossip. Deal? Anyway, Teachy's waiting for me at the training ground, so I better get going.
Nice try, Claude, but I'm on to you.
Yo, this is interesting. Hold up. And now, you know, just pretend the C rank unlocks. You know, we got that. I'm going to stick to part 1 for B. Let's continue.
Hey, Claude. Care to pick up where we left off? I got some time to kill.
Why do you have time to kill, Balthus?
You'll have to kill time on your own, I'm afraid. My calendar's full at the moment.
Ah, don't be like that. You're not afraid I'm gonna expose your true identity, are you? I would never.
This sounds like blackmail if I ever heard it.
Besides, my own bloodline isn't so lofty that I can get away with something like that.
I actually wonder. Considering how the alliance is done, well, Count Gloucester did kind of throw his weight around a bit. Well, no, someone from using his name. Dimitri and Edelgar, I feel, had a much higher presence as, you know, my word is law. Not just in their own routes, but also in Three Hopes as well. But Claude, I always wondered just how strong his word would carry. So
I bet your father would just love to hear you say that. And the Albrecht family is from a distinguished noble house, so I'm not sure what you mean.
Not as distinguished as you would think. And my mom wasn't born a noble.
Ah, the plot thickens. So, your mother was a commoner then?
In a sense, but it's complicated. Listen up, and I'll tell you a little story.
I wonder if I'm gonna learn more about Balthus than I already knew.
You know Kupala, yeah? Those folks have been living in the mountains of Fodlan's throat for ages.
Yeah.
I know it well. Tales of that place were carried on the wind to where I grew up.
Huh.
Here's my favorite.
That makes sense.
In a land surrounded by tall mountains, untouched by civilization, lies a hidden village.
A hidden village? A village hidden in the mountains? Wait. No, there's clouds, there's sand, leaves, mist, and stones.
The people who live there, the mystical Kupala tribe. They say that an ancient and powerful bloodline runs through their veins to this very day.
Oh, really?
Don't try to find them, people say, or you're liable to get hexed. Or so the tale goes.
Really?
That part was probably added to spice up the story a bit, but even so, there's certainly a mysterious lot.
They don't leave their homeland too often, so it's only natural that strange rumors would arise.
Yeah?
And your mother, is she really some kind of Kupala princess or something?
Why she gotta be a princess?
Not a princess, but she was born and raised there. She left, got lost, and was rescued. By my dad. He fell head over heels for her. Made her his wife. That's when her troubles really started.
Did your father tell anyone where she was from?
Of course not. But it didn't matter. She was still a stranger of questionable lineage.
I guess makes sense from the noble standpoint.
The family treated her horribly. That eventually led to them splitting up and my dad remarrying.
That's not an uncommon circumstance for a noble house. Where is she now?
Guess she went back home.
With nowhere else to turn, she went back to Kupala, even though my pops tried to convince her to stay.
I'm guessing you two left for much the same reason. Too hard to put up with the foul treatment, right?
Is that the case, Balthus?
That's part of it.
Huh.
If my mom had been Fodlan nobility, my life would have been very different. So, what do you think? Did I drum up some empathy? After all, half of your blood comes from...
Balthus?
I hear you, Balthus. Can't say I don't empathize, though our circumstances are pretty different.
Yeah, I mean, he a king. But then again, I would think, like Claude's mom, realistically speaking, Lady Tiana should be under massive, massive scrutiny. You're telling me someone who could have became the next leader of the Alliance is now our new queen? That's interesting.
So you admit it then. I knew I was right about you. My instincts are second to none.
But Balthus, that is... Should you really be saying that in the Church of Seros of all places?
Your instincts, right. Look, if it makes you happy, you just go on believing whatever you want.
I'll do just that. Say, Claude,
You know what?
it'd be a shame if your true identity was exposed, yeah? A real shame.
Balthus?
I'm thinking you better... set up a meeting between me and your mom?
Huh?
She was my first crush, after all.
Is Claude even... Like, I don't even know the relationship between Claude and his mom.
I had it bad for her back in the day.
Or his dad.
I'm still haunted by the fact that I never had the chance to tell her.
That's bothersome. And that aside, you do know that time didn't exactly stop for her, right?
I just realized why Claude said that. You know, I'm thinking of the implications of that meeting, and Claude's probably thinking of, dude, that's my mom. Can you stop?
Not a problem, pal. Age is beauty.
Wow, Balthus, you really serious about this? Though, like I said, if she looks like Judith and Judith and her like around the same age, then yeah, I cannot complain. I would never tell Claude that though, but all right. And now,
Balthus, you and I are of like minds, so I'd like to get your opinion on something.
wow, the vibe here seems completely different. Are they in Claude's room?
Oh, is this about the age thing?
Oh no!
As a rule, so long as she's younger than my own mother, it's fair game, pal.
Hey yo! Okay, we don't need to chill on that. Number one. Number two. Wow, even when they're older, Balthus is quite a bit taller than Claude. And now that I'm thinking about it, I'm not used to seeing Balthus older in supports because I didn't even finish his with Hildis, which I also got. Not sure I'm gonna go about showing that, but yeah, he's tall. And they're in third thing. They're in the Ashen Wolves, I think the boys' barracks. So interesting.
Noted, but that's not what I wanted to talk about. Ever, really.
Makes sense.
Do you remember what I said about the first thing we need to accomplish in this war?
And interesting, this unlocked as soon as I got to post time skip. I would have thought maybe it would have been locked.
That bit about busting open the lid that keeps the people of Fodlan from the rest of the world?
And I want to mention that when I get done with Three Hopes, but later.
That's right. I'd like to know your thoughts on the matter.
Okay. Well, everyone seemed to eat it up, so I'm fine with it too. Certainly not against it. In a world like that, my mom wouldn't have to fear what others think of her.
Very true.
But it all hinges on if you can shape reality into the vision you have in mind. That's no small task.
I had a feeling you'd say something like that. Please, go on.
Asking him for advice?
I'm all for mixing up different ways of life and bloodlines. But who knows what it'll really mean for Fodlan?
A very good point.
We'll be free from things that previously bound us. Walls will crumble. Things will change. Drastically.
Indeed.
At the same time, the world we've defended for years could easily become unrecognizable. Everything we've built up until now could fall to ash.
Wow, Balthus?
Hard to say how it'll all shake out. All we can do is wait and see. Maybe all will end well. Or maybe not.
Quite profound of him.
All I want is for everyone to accept each other. That's the ideal I'm striving for. It's deceptively simple when you think about it.
Look, if getting exactly what you wanted was easy, I'd be drowning in gold.
Yeah.
Don't get caught up in the stakes. You just have to throw the dice and see where they fall.
Interesting.
Good advice. That's all we can ever do, really. I just have to do my best and prepare for the worst.
Yeah?
You got it. I can't help with funding, obviously, but you have my support.
Speaking of funds, you're not planning to sell the secrets of my origins for a quick payoff, right?
I think he would have done it if he was gonna do it by now.
There are people with deep pockets who'd love to see me fall.
Yeah?
They pay well for information like that.
Like Count Gloucester.
Don't worry, Claude, I wouldn't sell out a friend. Not even for a small fortune. Most likely.
Granted, and I guess I should kind of... Like, it's inevitable. You have to have seen Three Hopes if you're gonna see this now. Either way, I'm not saying that makes me think negatively of Count Gloucester, but, you know... I do think he wants to be in charge. That part didn't change. And if he knew that information, that would be much to his benefit.
Yeah, that's not worrisome at all.
I was just kidding. After all, I have that promise to look forward to. You won't let me down, right?
You really serious?
Oh, of course not. And that promise was what exactly?
I mean, at this point, if y'all been boys for like 5 years, you'd be like, all right, man, here's my mom.
How about hooking me up with your mom? After we bust open that lid, of course.
Of course.
Of course. Age difference aside, you know she's married, right?
Okay, that's another thing I was wondering about. So your mom is still with your dad?
I'm not a loon, Claude. I'm not trying to marry her. I just want some closure with my childhood crush.
Closure? What is this man?
Is that a fact? Well, it'll be interesting to see whether my father can kill you before my mother beats him to it.
Yeah? Yeah, the King of Elmira must be pretty... We must be something. Wow. Wow. Okay. That was worth the wait. That was certainly worth the wait. Thoughts on it? Well, it does, like the others, the other Ashen Wolves, well, Constance and Happy mainly, it does add some more details on Claude's story, though it wasn't, you know, anything too plot heavy. And actually, Constance was more so hers. I feel like Balthus is like a good centerpiece between Constance and Happy. Happy, I think, added the most to the Blue Lion route. It was a whole subplot with Cornelia. Constance, you know, her story was kind of isolated. But, you know, even though her supports for Edelgard weren't as important, Mercedes and Yuritsa were nice. And actually, you could technically say Constance added more to the Blue Lions because, you know, Mercedes is a Blue Lion person, but that was Empire stuff. Either way, you know, I think I like how that was implemented. And I really do wish I had gotten Balthus when I was in the Golden Deer route, but like most people had already finished 1, if not 3 routes when the Ashen Wolves came out. So it's kind of inevitable. But okay. Well, that is going to end it for me. Please tell me what you all thought of Balthus' supports down in the comments below. And I am going to move on to the next round of supports next time.